Hello and welcome to Community Conversations. I'm your host, KK Kaneshiro. The journey from kindergarten to graduation at Fremont Unified involves two significant transitions, one from elementary school to junior high and the second from junior high to high school. These transitions mean a lot of changes for students and their families that can be stressful as they get used to new buildings and procedures. To help students adjust and feel safe in their new surroundings, FUSD has implemented programs to ease the transition and help students get their school year off to a great start. With us today is Thornton Junior High School English teacher Jennifer DeFrance and history teacher Karen Odland, who will tell us more about how the district's junior high schools are helping incoming 7th graders make the transition from elementary school through its Where Everyone Belongs program. And with us in the co-host seat is Assistant Superintendent Dr. Raul Zamora. So thank you so much for being here. This is great. Okay, so for someone like me, what does this program mean? How did it start and why did it start?
So it originated as a high school program, and it's called Link Crew. And then they realized that there's a huge need for that transition between elementary and junior high, and that's where
a huge step
for students. You know, they're used to their elementary, buildings and all of that. They're, teachers, and so Web was created to help with that transition.
And how long has this program been around?
The late 90s at least.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And it was started in Santa Cruz. It's through a program called the Boomerang Project, and they have a completely scripted curriculum that they train people in.
Okay, so if I'm a brand new graduated 6th grader, what happens? I mean, does someone adopt me? Someone mentors me? How does this work?
Yeah.
So they're given an orientation date, and they arrive at our campus, and we have music blasting and the doors are locked. And then when the doors fly open, someone comes out and invites everybody in, and they get to run through a gauntlet, and we just encourage them to find a seat, and our web leaders are there to usher them in and get them comfortable, and then we just immediately get into activities and take them through their orientation.
Okay, so what kind of activities are we talking about? Are they games or are they?
It's a lot of getting to know you, low-risk questions, especially since most of our kids are coming from different schools when they're at the orientation, since we have 6 feeder schools. So chances are you're going to meet about 15 new people that day, which is great because you're probably going to recognize one of those people on the first day of school.
So this orientation takes place prior to the new school year?
Yeah, a few days before the first day of school.
Oh,
and so it's connected with our Maze Day.
Okay.
And so students are able to go through the orientation. They have a tour of the school with their mentor, their 8th grade web leader, and they just feel more confident come the first day of school.
Okay. So how many kids does this 8th grade leader have?
20.
At least 20, but because we have such a large incoming class, we've broken up the orientation into 2 days.
Okay.
So it's by last name. And so on a given day, a web leader or a pair of web leaders will have at least 10 to 12 kids.
So if I'm an 8th grader and I want to be involved with this, how do I sign up?
In spring, we have an application process, and they write an essay for us, and they tell us where they sit at lunch, because we want a diverse population of web leaders as well to show the diversity of our school.
Right. Not all kids are going to be in leadership, and they're not going to have that personality. So it's important for us to have kids from the different groups.
Right.
So that way all kids coming in feel comfortable.
Nice. Okay. So my first day of school, I know who my group leader is. I'm lost.
You should look for the bright red web shirt. We have a specific web shirt, and all the web leaders wear it on our orientation day, and they're specifically, all of the incoming 7th graders are specifically told, look for this shirt.
Okay.
If you're lost on the first day, that's who you run to.
That's good. So I don't have to find my group leader. I can ask anyone in a red shirt.
Anyone. And they're all standing out at different parts of the campus, and all their teachers know that if they walk in wearing the red shirt and they're late to class, it's not because they're messing around, it's because they're helping kids.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. But for a red shirt person, besides the essay and going through the applications, is there any training they need to go through as well?
There is a spring training. We want them to kind of get a taste of what they're signing themselves up for.
Right.
And then in August, about a week before the orientation, they come to a 2-day training. They're required to go through 10 hours with us. And then from that point, they make the call on their own to their group, so that way there's that personal touch and it feels intentional.
So they have a way to communicate to their team.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
This is
really
great.
intentional.
So what do the parents think?
So far, they love it.
Yeah, so far there's been nothing but great feedback. Our counselors have been getting calls from parents, and they're like, my child can't remember who their web leader is. Can you make sure that they meet?
Yeah.
Now, is the same program very similar to when you go to high school, or is it a little different?
It's very similar.
Very
Okay.
similar. The only difference is that you have multiple grade levels that are acting as leaders. And sometimes
Oh.
some campuses actually have a linked class, which is not the same as leadership.
Okay. So these leaders, do they have this position for so many weeks or for the whole school year? How
whole
does that
year.
work? The whole year?
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of changes happen that first year, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so they are really mentoring those students for the entire year. They can meet with them at any time, and so it's really a lasting experience.
And it's a
connection.
commitment for these kids.
Absolutely.
Right. So other than the orientation throughout the year, we do social follow-ups. So our web leaders go out and invite kids from their groups specifically to attend after-school games, the dances, anything that's like coming up.
Yeah.
If there's a dress-up day for leadership, they kind of go out and check on them and say, hey, what are you going to wear? Stuff like that.
This is great. Now, with all these web leaders, do you have a monthly meeting with them to make sure they're all in sync and they understand what they need to do? Or is it
We
weekly?
do.
Yeah.
We have more monthly meetings, and then we have committee and commissioners that are specific to social roles or academic roles on campus.
Okay, explain the commissioner position.
Yeah, so we have a social commissioner, and
They're basically in charge of coming up with whatever idea that they want to do. They just have to run it by us, and then they have like a committee of 4 other people to work with them, to bounce ideas off of them. And then they bring their plans to us, and we support them basically and make sure it happens.
Nice.
the after-school games. We were looking at different games like foosball, human foosball, which
Oh
would
my
be really
gosh, that'd be fun.
And so,
For Halloween, we're all dressing up like Where's Waldo? It's going to be a sea of red shirts.
A lot of striped shirts.
yeah.
Actually, that's perfect. Red
Yeah.
shirts. Okay. Can you give us, our viewers who have never been through any of these sessions, if they're a brand new student and they're going into junior high, what's a session like? What can they? I mean, step me through this.
Yeah, so if you're a brand new student, you're very nervous, I'm sure.
Yes.
And so you're coming into high energy and a welcoming environment.
Okay.
And you're going to be in this huge gym with, like Karen was saying, lots of music and
Yeah.
people kind of dancing around and welcoming you in. And we're going to go through activities to the get to know yous.
Yeah, we lead the first portion for about like the first hour and a half, and then the students actually break off with their web leader and they go to a classroom. And
Oh, okay,
the web
that's how that
leaders,
works.
they have a pair of web leaders, and the web
Okay.
leaders actually run them through a series of activities. So that way it's a smaller group, it's quieter, it's intentional, they get to know each other.
Okay.
And at that point, that's when our web leaders start explaining success strategies. So that
Okay.
way on the first day and really throughout the year, they have all of these things that they know they should be doing, like
Yeah.
using your agenda, or don't forget to wash your PE clothes over the weekend and then bring them back.
Well, that's simple things.
Yes.
But if I'm brand new to the school district, I just moved here, how do you tell my parents about this program?
So
Because not only am I graduating up to a different level, I'm also new to this area.
right, so if they're registered, we have their name.
Okay, good.
So they're already on our list. And then even if you show up halfway through the year, our attendance registrar, she'll actually call up for a web leader over the
Oh,
all-call.
nice.
And they show up before
Okay.
school and take the student on a tour, answer any questions that they
Oh,
have. And
that's
so
great.
for like the first 6 weeks of school, I think we were getting at least 2 or 3 calls a week.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome, actually.
And our counselors do a good job of connecting them with web leaders, especially
Okay.
if they're having any kind of anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm hogging this whole show. Do you have any questions before I keep
Oh,
going?
no, what I was going to add is that talking to Principal Stan Hicks, the essential part of this program is also the sponsors such as Karen and Jen. They add such a motivational piece to this, and without the two, providing that guidance for our students, the program wouldn't be as vibrant as it is right now. So
Cool,
it's a matter of having
congratulations.
two
Thank you.
instructional teachers in there just always providing guidance for our
Yeah.
students. District-wide, it's now at all our junior high schools, and
Okay.
they're either in their first or second year. And Dr. Wallace, our superintendent, has also committed funds to make sure that this program
Nice.
continues. So I think it's a testament to what Karen and Jen are doing at the site, because I understand they're also active with other activities as well on site. So it's
Right.
not just
This
the
one
web,
program.
but they really have the pulse of the students, and they really contribute to what needs to happen at third and junior high schools. It's great. So congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
That's great. So can you give me any success stories of what the incoming students have told you?
So the first day of school, for whatever reason, no one can ever find the art room. And I don't know why. And my classroom's right next to it. And this is the first year I've had less than 15 kids ask me how to get there.
Wow.
And so it was kind of exciting to only have 3 this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
But not only that, we have kids. We have a large population of students with social anxiety, and so we've had plenty of counselors and special ed teachers reach out to us, and we've been able to set up an environment to help those kids kind of gain the social skills that they need to make
Yeah.
their way through junior high, which is kind
Have
of
parents
awesome.
told you that they've noticed a lesser degree of anxiety with their kids because of this program?
A few.
Yeah.
Good.
And our counselors too have
Really?
expressed that.
Nice.
Yeah, which is really nice to hear.
And our
Yes.
7th grade teachers especially have talked about how the kids are more confident, and it's just a different environment.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that really happens with this program also is the 6th graders, then when they become 8th graders, they want to be web leaders too, and so they're like
Oh,
waiting
that's
for their chance.
great.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
really a cycle of learning and
Right.
also being that confident person on campus. And hey, I had the same experience you had.
Yeah.
Let me walk you through this process. So
Yeah.
it's such a wonderful experience that they have cyclically on campus.
And we've seen such a growth with our 8th grade leaders.
Right.
They feel such
Nice.
responsibility and pride for the school.
Yeah.
And that's really good to see.
And it was kind of nice. They were only dedicated we only asked them to show up for 4 hours for orientation, and they ended up staying for all of May's as well. And we had multiple kids helping different teachers. Our yearbook teacher told us that he hit record sales, and
Nice.
he was so thankful to have those extra hands.
So if I'm a high schooler and I help you with this program in my 10th grade year, if I want to do the 11th grade and the 12th grade, can I? Or is there a term limit, so to speak, for the kids to be involved with this as a team leader?
In the high school program, I think you can do it all
All
through the years.
Because there's
And-
going to be kids that just absolutely love this.
Yeah.
And it looks great on a college application.
Oh, there you go. So how long have you two been involved with this?
This is our first year.
Yeah.
Oh, first year?
Yeah.
Our campus had about a 4 to 6 year hiatus, but the program had been around for a long time.
Okay.
And it was kind of funny because the announcement was made that we're bringing the program back, and all of these teachers were like, "We're so excited it's coming back!" And
Oh, nice.
we had a lot of teacher support, which has been great.
Yeah, really positive feedback,
That's
which has
good.
been really nice.
Now, do you meet with the web leaders after school as well? Or lunchtime?
No, we try to keep it during lunch.
Yeah.
Lunch. Okay,
Yeah.
but then they have the time to meet with their team should they need to meet them after school.
After school
Got
or
it.
their own lunchtime as well.
Okay,
And
Yeah.
our doors are always open.
that's great. Wow, I can't believe this is a great program. I wish you guys were around when I needed you.
Right.
Jeez, my goodness. Can you tell me if parents can play any role with this program, or do they just
We
are excited
just-
about their kids
we
being
need
so
their
successful?
support in bringing them to the orientation.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
One of our
Yeah.
biggest things is our population is usually on vacation still when
Right.
orientation takes
Right.
place.
Yeah.
So now that the word is out that we're doing this, the hope is that they will show up for orientation moving
That's
great.
forward.
Should a parent want to get involved, who should they contact?
They should contact us.
One of us,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's easy.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
go to the school district's website.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, let's not make it too difficult.
Right, very
Okay.
easy.
We got a couple minutes left, but can you tell us a little bit about how the program started and how it has evolved from how you've taken and created it and improved it?
Yeah, well, being our first year, we're trying to kind of see the new pulse of the campus and the student need, and we're just kind of working through the year to figure out the needs and adjusting as needed.
And something that we're stressing with our 8th graders is especially through these committees, you have the choice to determine what our campus looks like and
Really?
what the programs are like.
Oh.
And the culture,
The
community.
culture and how everybody interacts. And so our next step is to take that to a service learning level or community
That's
service.
great because they can create their own world.
Exactly.
And
We
a
want
safe
them to
world.
understand that when you commit to community service, you're committing to your community.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay. Well, I know we got a few seconds left, but if there's any words of encouragement you would like to dispense to our viewers of how to get kids more involved, what would you say?
Talk to your kids, encourage them.
Yeah, the more fun the activities are, the more involved they're going to be.
Yeah, this is great. Congratulations on your success. This
Thank
is
you.
wonderful.
Thank you
And
so
thank you for
much.
being here. Dr. Zamora, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And sorry I hogged up the whole show.
That's fine. That's fine.
From everyone here at Community Conversations, we appreciate you watching and we'll see you next time. Thank you.